Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Thursday. It's Daryl here. It's 5 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Um, I'm talking about another story in Connecticut, and I'm bringing it up because it does pertain overall to the nation and the world. My last video about Democrats, Republicans, partisan politics, and raising money for road work here in Connecticut. It's more partisan politics, and I believe it's a microcosm of what's going on in the nation. Now, this video is about anti-vaxxers and religious exemption. There's right now. This is another huge story here in our little state. Um, in our in our capital, people have been debating for 25 hours now, since yesterday morning, overnight into this morning. Constant debate overnight. A huge turnout, debating rolling back the religious exemption that we've had in this state for 60 years, for mandatory for vaccinating your child for school. For 60 years, we've had you can claim religious exemption and not have your student vaccinated. It has become a concern here in the state because I believe there's 130. Remember, it's a small state. 134 schools, I believe, have reached a level where they're going under 95% of the student population being vaccinated, which the CDC has specified that it becomes a serious danger when it goes below 95% of the student population, that you could have a serious outbreak of rubella, measles, mumps, and so on and so forth. So it's become a serious issue here in the state. And so we have a large number, apparently, of anti-vaxxer parents that want to claim religious exemption, and it's really not. For the most part, I believe that they're using the religious exemption as a reason, but I think it goes, without a doubt, I would say the vast majority of these anti-vaxxers are conspiracy theorists. Just to put it bluntly, I know I'm going to hear flack on this, but that's what I guarantee, that probably 99% of these people claiming religious exemption are more than likely conspiracy theorists that believe that vaccinations cause autism. I've been looking that up briefly. I've researched it. I've read articles on it before, and everything I could find that it says that autism is more a chemical imbalance in the brain, and it has nothing to do with there's no evidence, viable evidence that links vaccinations and autism. I'm one of those. I'm one of those Gen Xers that I have my ring from where I was vaccinated as a kid. We all have those scars. The kids that are over 45, the people now that are over 45, 50, we all have the vaccination scars. I don't have autism. Nobody I know has autism. So, not that that's any proof, but it's a big issue right now here in the state. It's a huge, the fact that people have waited for a day and a half sitting in this chamber to speak, and there's large protests right now outside the Capitol. Interesting, I've seen some comments from the protesters that this right to have their children educated. They believe they said it's a constitutional right, that their children have this constitutional right to go to school even though they're not vaccinated. I looked that up, and it is not a constitutional guarantee. The 14th Amendment guarantees equal rights to be educated, but it's not a constitutional guarantee per se. Yeah, so this is there's a big worry too. there's a lot of kids these days that have immune deficiency situations, problems with their immune systems, and being around any of this growing number of kids that aren't vaccinated presents a serious danger to them. Personally, I believe the health overall of the overall student population exceeds the rights of one child not to choose to be vaccinated, or the parents to choose. I think it's more important that the overall population, without a doubt, be protected from these diseases that were all but eradicated until recently. These diseases have popped up again because of these anti-vaxxers, and I'm just going to call it what it is. I believe it's a conspiracy theory. It's based on pseudoscience, fear, superstition, whatever you want to call it. I don't believe it has any. Personally, that's my opinion. It has no scientific basis that these vaccinations, and then there's even, I won't even get into it, but there's theories that go beyond the autism that government implants or whatever nonsense. So so this is a big thing that's happening. I wouldn't be surprised if it happens in other states too. These debates about vaccinations coming up. So that's what's going on in our little state of Connecticut, and probably is, like I said, it's a microcosm of the nation in general, I believe. All right, you guys have a great Thursday.